Welcome to New Orleans at 2:51 a.m.
Uh-oh. Tracks are for trains, not for playing games!
But yeah, this is, to my understanding, the only heritage streetcar system that runs 24 hours. We're gonna start with these 90s ones on the Canal Street line and then switch over somehow, we'll get there somehow, to the St. Charles line, which uses original 1920s streetcars, which is insane that they're running them in the middle of the night. Also, Jackson, as a Philadelphian, you'll appreciate that New Orleans uses Pennsylvania trolley gauge.
I don't appreciate that. Pennsylvania making things needlessly complicated, like Canal Street to cemeteries.
Oh yeah.
Streetcar, let's go.
Harris, via cemetery. Please have fare ready.
That just feels like the Philly voice. Ooh. It's a Muni style bell.
We got some very mechanical ass sounds going on. This is a very weird seat configuration, you know?
Yeah.
Longitude!
And then it's just all over the place. Oh, and you can flip them apparently. There's two wheelchair lifts because it is an accessible streetcar, but they like tried to make a mold.
Or could run the left.
Meaning more arduous.
Follow at New Orleans RTA on Instagram and Facebook and at RTA Forward on Twitter.
Give them a shout out. On Twitter, not on X, the everything app, formerly Twitter.
So right now we're on an early 2000s car.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty historic. You'd think that if they were building it new, they would have put an actual wheelchair ramp that works.
Yeah, I mean, it's lifts, which will take forever. Also, we have literally gone like one block. We've been on this for like 4 minutes. Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Oh, we lost power for a second there.
You have these modern screens that are kind of nice. Shout out to Texas license plate driving in the right of way.
It feels like we're back in Philly.
I also can't help but sort of downtroddenly note that this appears to be the top speed.
This is actually a very well demarcated trolley right away. There's like trees and all sorts of life. It's also great separated slightly. I think we're like a curb above.
We are, yeah.
Pavement. Everybody say hi, New Orleans Hostel. Hi.
Here's another car very easily beating us. Like here we're serving this big hospital, which is like, you know, a useful destination. Well, I don't get why it does that. Isn't that like a really like old, like wouldn't they have to like
Tom T.
I just
make it feel authentic.
There goes the other one.
Oh,
That had people on it too. There's a good amount of people on this. This is the bus and streetcar garage, or at least one of them.
Canal and Salcedo. Canal and
Norman C. Francis Parkway.
they must have renamed that one.
I love the architecture in this city. It's very diverse.
So many different influences in play. New Orleans streetcars are so slow.
Oh.
That's depressing.
We got our first cemetery at the aptly named Cemeteries Transit Center. I want to just show the stop request. There's a cool sound.
stop requested.
And you can do it multiple times.
Well, if there isn't a bus for a while, I see a place where we could.
Is it actually open, or is that just an old sign?
Actually doesn't look particularly open, does it?
Thank you.
Please have fare ready. Route 47.
Wow.
This is certainly a formidable vehicle when we look at it from the outside.
It really is. I think there's definitely a very one-sided debate to be had about whether we should be building these vehicles these days for real transit lines, but they did such a good job. It's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful looking vehicle. Is it a beautiful functioning vehicle though? I mean, that thing had a top speed of 16 miles an hour.
All right, we're leaving a minute early. We're back
Where do we go?
on this.
It's 3:32 a.m.
The St. Charles line ends like close-ish to here, but it's not very walkable that we can tell. So we're just gonna take this all the way back in, and then
do
take that
St.
back
Charles
out.
line, yeah, right.
And that's the one that uses the actual 1920s streetcars.
It'll be interesting to see how they fare in an A-B comparison.
Airbnb comparison.
Airbnb comparison. I'm delirious out here, man.
So one thing that is cool about New Orleans cemeteries is that they're all above ground mausoleums because you just can't dig.
You can't really get any lower than ground level here.
I do love a good grass median.
Everyone's always like, good grass streetcar medians.
Here's the other branch where that splits off. That goes up to City Park / museum, I think is the... That's not 24 hours.
City Park / museum.
We literally have a green light. Why are we going so slow? I just don't get it.
We're grinding to a stop.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
This is how slowly this thing goes at night when there is no one riding it and a completely unobstructed road. Like, how slowly does this thing go backwards during rush hour?
Very nice. All right, so we're finally on the move. I feel like we sat there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like our operator talks up to the other trolley.
Are we actually winning against the bus right now?
We're keeping pace. Oh, 20.
Wow, we're really bucketing along.
The operator's announcing that something's going to be the last stop, which if he's announcing that something's going to be the last stop, then it's probably not going to be the actual last stop. It'll be before the last stop. We're back at the beautiful neon Walgreens. Well, I guess I say back. I mean, for you guys, it's the first time you've seen it. We didn't film it going out, but look at that.
Here we are at the St. Charles line, kind of.
I guess it's the last stop, even though it goes further. As far as I can tell, it ending here was just at the driver's discretion.
It seemed like an arbitrary decision. There goes the 47, which was not really particularly branded as such, but...
No, just that little thing on the side. The St. Charles line is every 34 minutes at night.
We love when a route is clock-faced.
So it'll be here in 15 minutes at 4:18 a.m. We could actually like walk further back down the loop, because it's a loop, so we can get more like of the one-way mileage. This is an ADA accessible streetcar stop. I mean, yes, there are 4 streetcars out of the fleet of like 35 that are accessible.
So I guess it is accessible, you'll just be waiting a while.
The accessible ones are newly built ones from the 90s, but I think we're kind of looking for an original 1920s one. God, you can sure tell when it's coming, huh?
Wait, it sounds like it's one of the 20s ones.
Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
You've got the S's. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay.
This is so cool.
This is awesome.
These seats are like legendarily uncomfortable looking, although I think, oh, I see. Oh. This was built in Philly, apparently, this particular implement that deals with the stop request. Okay, so this car was built in either 1923 or 1924 by the Pearly A. Thomas Works. They were based in North Carolina, and we were saying we've never heard of this company before. I love being able to hear myself think. Apparently, once streetcars started to kind of go away, Pearly A. Thomas started making school buses and renamed themselves to Thomas.
Now that is a fun fact.
The streetcar line brings back like streetcar lines of the 1920s and 30s in a really fun way, and that we are just laying over in the middle of the street.
Oh, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
we see that all the time in like
just stopped
Philadelphia's
here.
old, streetcar maps.
I mean, this is one of the OG lines to do anything. This is the oldest continuously running streetcar line in the world.
This has been operating since, well, Miles looked it up. I think he said 1935.
1835.
Oh wait, 1835. That's what I meant to say.
Oh. There's good noises.
Ah, the 1920s. What a time to have been alive.
It has to be said, like, the amount of work that has to be done to keep these century-old cars running on very busy streets and very busy lines. It's admirable. It's hand controlled, so that lever just controls the streetcar. I gotta say, it's really funny how it goes from being the loudest thing ever to be completely silent.
You really have to regulate how loud they talk. You know, it's definitely got those Thomas school bus windows, huh?
It really does.
Howard Avenue.
Howard Avenue. Okay. Oh, stop request. So it just like buzzes. Well, it does multiple times, so we can show it because. Yeah, oh, I screwed it up. This is kind of a happening area. There's a lot of restaurants. I don't know if it's happening right this moment at 4:32 in the morning, but it would be happening in a midday scenario.
We're getting quite a smorgasbord of mechanical noises coming out of this thing. Like every time I thought I'd heard the entire repertoire it has to offer, they break out a new one.
Oh, yikes. This is like cruising speed too. We do have some great housing stock though. This is a beautiful neighborhood. And then if we were here during the day, it's very like leafy. There's like trees in the median and stuff. So like,
It seems like a delightful place to walk around.
right, well we now have the vehicle to ourselves and we're like pretty early in on the route, so good amount of empty time.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a while to go. I kind of feel like they're like stuck between a rock and a hard place because the line is now famous for it being what it is. So it's kind of locked into being this kind of inaccessible, very slow situation. But genuinely, if you ran a parallel bus route, it would probably be faster. I don't know. Are we being cynical? Like, people will tell us we're being cynical, but it's hard not to see this as a flawed operation, despite being incredibly cool.
Right, that's the service transit. I mean, the ideal is for it to be good transit.
That one has more people on it. And of course, like Canal Street, it's the right of way that any city would dream of, where it's just a full median. You could go as fast as you want, but that's not the case here.
Bordeaux.
We're at Loyola University that serves both this and then Chilean next. It is cool. I mean, it's all residential. Like, there's a lot of people who benefit from this line being around. Yeah. The streetcar yard is up that way. It's like that sort of lit up building. You'll see it for a sec. There's a bus sitting here that will probably leave before we get there, but it would get us back in half the time. Thank you. All right, well, our connecting bus left from there, so it's gone.
Although, hey, we have a little miniature
cool.
model. All right, cool. That was a street-ass car.
Yes, thankfully there's another connecting bus we can take that gets here in 4 minutes. Well, one last look at it.
That was a really cool streetcar ride. I have not been on a vehicle that visceral.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
You know, one of my favorite mantras is that the joys of a foamer are completely at odds with the joys of the service planner. And so as a foamer, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. A 24-hour heritage streetcar line using 20s vehicles. But yeah, as someone who's interested in having good transit for people.
The shot got interrupted because there was a fight happening in the parking lot of the Burger King.
It's hard not to look at that and think that it's not delivering as much as it could be. Not to be cynical, but I'm going to be cynical. Well, now we'll get to take a bus back in half the time and see how it compares.
Yeah, we're about to take the 3 bus.
All right, here we go.
All right.
This is just like a standard bus. This won't be fun, but it'll be fast. Well, it will still be fun.
It'll be pretty fun.
Route 3, Tulane, Elmwood.
I think we're already going faster than like any of our previous rides today.
Yellow tape to open doors.
In efficiency, bus beats streetcar, but I guess you're not entirely riding the streetcar for the efficiency.
No.
As a tourist destination, like, you're not trying to get there as fast as possible. So
you're trying to enjoy your time on there for $1.25.
You're trying to enjoy the grinding.
Bonus ferry trip for the fans. Jackson is sleeping, which makes sense. I am trying to ride the Algiers ferry, which just goes from downtown across the river to Algiers, just because it's fun. It's a ferry. Originally, I tried to take the 103 bus across to Algiers to then come back on the boat, but the bus went a completely different way and skipped my stop, even though there was no alerts for a detour. So I tried to take the Canal streetcar, but our streetcar got a wheelchair, and I decided, screw it, it'll be faster to walk. So just walking to the ferry now. There's the trolley I was on, bunched with another, and I think there's a third one. So I guess I was able to beat that by walking. All right, ferry, there's the boat. You can't really see it. It says RTA on it. It's a very accessible terminal. All right, so here's the inside. It smells really nice. I wonder if this is a new boat. It has like bus seats on it, but we obviously want to be upstairs. Oh, look at this. Whole upper deck to ourselves. All right, here we go. I got admonished for standing up. It's apparently a seated-only vehicle, or vessel rather. You are not allowed to stand. I'm actually being kept watched by someone in the back to make sure that I'm not standing up. So yeah, way to take out all the fun of riding a ferry. Well, we get a good view at least. The guy who was watching me went into the bridge. I don't dare stand though, lest I get yelled at again. It's the Mississippi. It's not this like ocean. It's a very calm river. So I originally went up those stairs and then they yelled at me. So now I'm going up this car ramp. Talk about feeling like a pariah. Also, I stood up as we were getting into the station. They're like, oh, we're here, I'm gonna stand up. And the guy's like, no, you have to sit down. And so he made me sit down on the stairs because I'd gotten up. And I can't believe how much they micromanage you on that thing. This is the opposite of the streetcar. This is a very good transit service. It's a half-hourly ferry between, you know, that side of the river and this side of the river. And it would literally not impact the service at all if they let you like stand up and like have a good time. But no, you have to sit down like a little word that I can't say. Alright, now I'm on the 103 bus to see what the view from the bridge is like. And unlike on the No Fun ferry, you actually could stand on this if you wanted to. Later. Alright, you're not gonna believe this. I fell asleep on the bus. I didn't get the view over the bridge. Oh well. You know what they say, the worst part of an all-nighter is when the sun comes up. Thank you.